Okay, hear me out. Both Violent Night and Krampus were made by Universal, so why not for the sequel, you pit the two of them against one another in a Freddy vs. Jason type of fight. I'm telling you, billion-dollar idea right there. Violent Night was directed by Tommy Wirkola and stars David Harbour as the Jolly One himself, and this film tells the story of a family being taken hostage by a group of robbers on Christmas Eve, and it's up to Santa Claus to save them in the most brutal and violent ways possible. When I saw the trailer for the first time, I immediately knew this was going to be one of the most fun times I would have in a movie this year. The premise is so fun and insane you can't frown at the idea of Santa saving the day Die Hard style. However, when I saw it was from the director of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, I became a bit concerned. If you watch my Forgotten Films video about that movie, you'll remember that I said that while the action was good and a lot of fun, the characters needed quite a bit of work done. However, to my surprise, not only was the action here fantastic, but there is far better character work than I was expecting, which led to a far better movie in my eyes. So, for starters, David Harbour as Santa Claus is just perfect casting. He's hilarious, his version of Santa is far different from any we've seen before, and leads to a very fun time. Not only does he bring a fire and fury to the action scenes, but he's able to sell the quieter, more character moments very well, in a movie where Santa Claus kills bad guys with a sledgehammer called Skull Crusher. And that's the secret to this movie. Despite the insanity of the premise, the movie knows when to have fun with the idea of Santa being a vigilante, and it knows when to play it serious. Had this film not taken itself seriously, then I don't think it would have worked as well. By taking itself seriously, we're able to feel for the family in danger, and it makes the action scenes that much more intense. Also, I was surprised at how well written the family was in this. It could have been very easy for them to just be a throwaway role in the script, but the film makes them an active part of the story and leads to some of the best emotions and biggest laughs of the film. While I wouldn't say the action in this film is on par with something like John Wick, that doesn't mean it isn't a hell of a fun time. Each fight is creative in its own way and leads to some of the most fun moments I've had at the movies this year. I also appreciate that Santa isn't someone that's perfect in a fight. He gets his ass handed to him multiple times, and it allows the scenes to be more intense and gives them a sense of dread that wouldn't be there if he couldn't get hurt or if he was as good as John Wick. While I think the family was fun and pretty well written, I wish it was the same for the bad guys. While John Leguizamo's character has a pretty neat backstory and reason for doing what he's doing, everyone else aside from 2 or 3 henchmen just feel like bodies for Santa to kill. And I mean, that's the nature of action movies. Not everyone's going to be a real character. You're going to have people there just to be bodies. I don't know if it's just me, but I wish there was something a bit more to them to make them more fun to watch him fight. It's not a big hindrance, I think it's just me. There could be a few pacing problems here and there. Sometimes the film will take too long between action scenes, and while that's not always a bad thing, it does make it hard to see this as a time-sensitive situation with the breaks between that do happen. Maybe if this were closer to 90 minutes instead of 2 hours, then that could have fixed the pacing problems, but overall, it's not that huge of a problem. Overall, Violent Night is a wonderfully fun and violent Christmas movie that I plan on watching every Christmas season going forward. David Harbour is fantastic, the action is so much fun, it's hilarious from beginning to end. Violent Night is going to be a staple of the holiday season for many going forward, and I hope it becomes one for you as well. I'm going to give Violent Night an 8 out of 10.